A family in mourning and a nation in shock as police say they're investigating the alleged suicide of an 8-year-old boy. But first, our Talia Hall joins us live from Grand Bahama with the senior meteorologist on the latest from their brush with Hurricane Milton, as the Bahamas has been given the all clear from the storm. Plus, the education minister explaining the shifted timeline of school closures in anticipation of the storm after some parents expressed frustration over the back and forth. And then in our news at 7:30, Ardelvardo Emmanuel speaks with a Bahamian who rode out Hurricane Milton in Florida and what's next for her and her family. All that and more as Our News Live at 7 starts now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marlena Leonard, in for Candino Knowles. All islands in the Bahamas have been given the all clear by the Bahamas Department of Meteorology as Hurricane Milton has moved further into the Atlantic. Our Talia Hall is standing by live outside of the Grand Bahama International Airport in Grand Bahama, one of the islands that was under a tropical storm warning less than 24 hours ago. Italia, what can you tell us?
Well, Marlena, what I can tell you right now, it's extremely windy. And I'm feeling a little bit of rain right now, but however, residents are breathing a sigh of relief as the island has been given the all clear. And tonight I am here with senior meteorologist Trinad Tynes from the Grand Bahama Department of Meteorology. And Trinad is going to tell us exactly what's happening now and what can residents expect as we go through the night.
Basically, we're going to go with the breezy conditions. Like I mentioned earlier, we forecast this system to do exactly what it is doing. The best part about it is degenerating by its name now post-tropical cyclone Milton instead of tropical storm, which is a good sign once more. We are anticipating for it to once more fall apart, and it is weakening. And when you go post-tropical cyclone, that means it is weakening. So that means it's lost its tropical characteristics, like the circulation is now gone. So now we're just left behind with the breeze and some residual rainfall or some little showers here and there, which is exactly what most of these systems do.
And Trinad, I know earlier we saw some flooding, light flooding in the 8 Mile Rock community. Can you tell us what happened there?
Well, basically what happened out there was like what we said, that once the winds were coming out of the south at roughly about 20 to 30 or 35 miles an hour winds, we were going to get some flooding on those sides because once you have that straight wind coming into the area, there's nothing basically stopping the winds and the seas from coming on shore. We did have some higher breaches going straight across the road in certain spots in 8 Mile Rock, but for the most part, most of them stopped right on the edge before crossing, so which was expected.
Right, and right now the temperatures, we can feel that it's been a dip. Will this continue?
Well, it will continue for the most part whilst the winds is flowing out of the north. Because the north winds is actually tapping into the cooler air of the United States continent. So once it stays out of the north, you'll feel cooler temperatures. But once the winds start to veer back to the east and south, then we'll feel summertime conditions again.
All right, thank you so much, Trinad. Well, Marlena, I'm getting wet. It's raining here on Grand Bahama again. Reporting live in Grand Bahama for Our News, I'm Italia Hall. Back to you in studio.
All right. Thanks, Italia. Get out of that rain. Well, the official all clear was given this afternoon during a press conference at the Disaster Risk Management Authority headquarters on Gladstone Road. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for the details. Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin says the decision to close schools until Friday and then a sudden change to reopen today was based on advice given to the ministry by the Department of Meteorology. On Tuesday, the government previously announced the closure of schools in the northern Bahamas was due to heavy forecasted rain. But by last night, the Ministry of Education announced that schools on New Providence, Andros, the Berry Islands, and Eleuthera would reopen today, while schools on Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Key would remain closed. Hannah Martin says she understands frustration with the back and forth. However, she says the forecast changed, and so they had to adjust as well.
We were guided by them. They gave us certain advice, and based on that advice, we made decisions. Yesterday, they gave us additional advice, and the advice was that we'd have some showers in the morning, which I think was indicated in our statement, but that during the course of the day it would clear up, and that the weather was such that it would be appropriate to open schools.
The sudden change sparking debate amongst many on social media, particularly parents who had different points of view. The education minister says this week provides a good opportunity for dialogue in addressing the wider issue of school closures due to weather.
These are decisions parents are going to have to ponder I think what my view is that we have to appreciate that we will have imperfect weather conditions on occasions, and unless there are life-threatening circumstances or safety issues, children have to go to school. I mean, that's my view. I believe many parents made decisions in keeping their children home, and that's in their best judgment.
A family is reeling from tragedy tonight as police probe an alleged suicide of an 8-year-old boy at a home on St. Albans Drive. Police say an older sibling found the unresponsive boy with a belt around his neck hanging from the security bars of a bathroom window. The sibling quickly notified a parent who then called the police. Emergency medical services responded and tried to resuscitate, but he later died in hospital. In light of this, we want to add, if you or a loved one is struggling or feeling overwhelmed with life at the moment, help is available. The Department of Social Services has a 24-hour crisis hotline providing counseling to anyone feeling overwhelmed, battling depression, or struggling to cope with many of life's challenges. You can call anytime to their 24/7 hotline. The numbers are 322-2763 or 422-2763. There is help, it does get better, and we really want you to be here to see it. A jury has been seated to hear the murder trial of Travis Taylor. He's charged with the January 20th, 2018 murder of Milsad Ulysses. The incident allegedly happened at Rupert Dean Lane. Taylor, who's on bail, has denied the charge at his trial before Justice Gilomena Archer-Mins. The Consumer Protection Commission has a new chief, and tonight he says they're cracking down on 3 key sectors where they've seen a hike in complaints. He's also giving tips for consumers to ensure their complaints are properly investigated. Berthany McDermott has the details.
The Consumer Protection Commission is keeping an eye on courier companies after a rise in consumer complaints this year. Newly appointed Executive Chairman Randy Roll telling us complaints against the construction industries and utility companies have also increased. The plan is to look into the complaints.
We will focus on one sector each month, starting with shipping companies. In October, with a targeted social media campaign, we want carriers to thrive. Carriers' efficiency and reliability make them a popular choice for both businesses and individuals who need to deliver quickly and securely.
Roll emphasized that the Commission is not trying to put these companies out of business, but to build relationships with all businesses and consumers. Some of the complaints, he says, range from lost packages without refunds to high prices for shipped goods.
Our investigations will take a broader look across the supply chain to better understand the causes of losses, damages, or delays. Our work will continue as we pursue violations, provide relief to consumers, and deter future wrongdoings.
So far for the year, Roll says the Commission has already processed over 300 complaints, a rise from last year. Still, Roll says some consumers are hesitant to file complaints for fear of retaliation. While most of them saw a successful resolve, some of them had to be referred to other agencies. He's encouraging consumers to come forward and file complaints and offer this bit of advice.
Consumers should ensure businesses are registered and always keep receipts. Lack of business license is a major red flag. Consumers are advised to do whatever it is within their power to ensure that a provider is legitimate and to keep the receipts when making purchases. The Commission's efforts to investigate any complaint will be hampered if consumers fail to adhere to these basic warnings.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Thanks, Berthany. Well, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Ian McKenzie is standing by in the Weather Center. Ian?
Thanks, Marlena, and good evening, Bahamas. I'm Ian McKenzie tonight, in for Greg Thompson. Currently outside our studios, we're under partly cloudy skies and humid with a temperature of 85. Feels like still muggy, 95. Winds are from the west at 22 miles per hour. Current temperatures across the country in our nation's second city, Freeport, we have 82. 84s in Marsh Harbor, Great Harbor Key, Alistown. 85s in Nicholstown, and in the capital, 86 in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera. The Central Bahamas, we have 84s in Camps Bay, as well as Coburn Town, San Salvador. A pair of 85s in Arthurstown and Georgetown. 86 in Deadman's Key, Long Island. In the Southeast Bahamas, we have 86 in Duncantown, as well as Abrahams Bay, and in Matthewtown in Nagua. A pair of 85s in Colonel Hill and Delectable Bay, and 87 in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos. First look now at our satellite and radar imagery where we have trailing moisture associated with now post-tropical cyclone Milton. Not much of a threat to us or anyone at this time. Elsewhere, we still have those breezy conditions across us. But hey, stick around, we'll tell you all about this straight ahead.
Still to come on Our Sports at 7, Anton and the New York Mets advance while Jazz and the New York Yankees are just one win away. And then in this week's edition of Sustainability First, we're taking a look at how experts are saying global heating impacted Hurricanes Milton and Helene. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussions. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. The big week for Bahamians in the MLB playoffs continues. Anton Richardson's New York Mets are off to the NLCS, while Jazz Chisholm Jr.'s New York Yankees are one win away from the ALCS. Francisco Lindor's Grand Slam Wednesday night was the latest in late-game heroics for the Mets and sparked a 4-1 win to eliminate the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League Divisional Series. Over in the American League, Chisholm and the Yankees won 3-2 on the road last night and took a 2-1 lead over the Kansas City Royals.
I told you the confidence level has not changed from game 1, game 2 to now. It's still not a different, we going out there and we're going to play our game. So we're going to play the same game we've been playing every day, and we're going to go and win.
Staying in New York, the WNBA Finals get underway tonight with Jonquil Jones and the New York Liberty hosting the Minnesota Lynx tonight at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Minnesota had the edge in the regular season series 3-1, but Jones said the Liberty has game planned the necessary adjustments to win the first title in franchise history.
Like I said before, our team has had a year to really grow and understand each other and build our chemistry. And then also we have that bonding experience of making it to a championship and falling short, and then having that hunger to go out there and make our minds up in terms of our mindset and how we approach the game, that it wasn't going to happen again. And so, we still have a job to do.
Preparations continue for the Bahamas to host the top baseball teams in the region at the 6th Caribbean Cup. Tonight, we take a look at the managerial staff. Jerron Sands will be the team's manager, assisted by coaches Albert Cartwright, Mario Ford, and Ken Adderley. Avard Hart is the general manager. Donovan Cox is the pitching coordinator. Trey Sweeting will be the team's trainer, and Nicholas Morley is the physical trainer. And a weekly update from our conferences headed to the Bahamas Bowl. That'll do it for Our Sports at 7. This is 10YS. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world, as an Israeli airstrike killed at least 28 people and wounded dozens more sheltering at a school in central Gaza. And Haiti's divided Transitional Presidential Council picks a new president. We have the details when Our News returns.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Monster storm Milton slammed into Florida, whipping up deadly tornadoes, destroying homes and knocking out power to more than 3 million customers. At least 10 deaths were reported. The Tampa Bay metropolitan area appeared to have escaped without the catastrophic flooding that had been feared. The storm hit Florida's west coast on Wednesday night as a Category 3 hurricane and left its mark, tearing open the roof of the Tropicana Field, the stadium of the Tampa Bay Rays baseball team. The winds also toppled a large construction crane in St. Petersburg, sending the structure crashing down onto a deserted street. Businesses, residential streets, and highways in Lee County on the southwest coast were flooded. Milton also spawned at least 19 tornadoes, according to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
The storm was significant, but thankfully this was not the worst case scenario. The storm did weaken before landfall, and the storm surge, as initially reported, has not been as significant overall as what was observed for Hurricane Helene.
An Israeli airstrike killed at least 28 people and wounded dozens more sheltering at a school in central Gaza. The attack on the Rafida school injured at least 54 Palestinians, according to the Red Crescent. Hospital officials have confirmed the death toll. The Israeli army said on Thursday that it had carried out a precise strike on terrorists who had a command and control center embedded in a school. Hamas denies such allegations. Medics said 54 other people were wounded at the school. And Haiti's Transitional Presidential Council transferred the rotating presidency to architect Leslie Voltaire, despite opposition from outgoing President Edgar Leblanc-Fille, who refused to sign a decree ratifying the move. Leblanc-Fille had opposed the move, citing unresolved corruption accusations against 3 other councillors who remain voting members and signed off on the transition. The rift at the council creates fresh uncertainty in a country still reeling from the gang massacre of at least 70 people last week, with Prime Minister Gary Conille seeking security assistance abroad. Our neighbors in Florida have seen 3 hurricanes make landfall this summer, 2 of them back-to-back major hurricanes in a matter of weeks. In tonight's Sustainability First, we're looking at how warmer waters are contributing to these record-breaking storms and what you can do to make a difference. With Milton breaking intensification speed records in the Gulf of Mexico and Helene breaking storm surge records by at least 2 feet in some areas of Florida, experts are pointing to warmer waters in the Gulf as a key factor in fueling the catastrophic storms. Milton exploded from a Category 1 storm to a monster Category 5 in just 9 hours, its pressure dropping so low at one point to 897 millibars that it puts it in the top 5 of the strongest storms in the Atlantic Basin history, based on its barometric pressure. Experts point toward warmer waters in the Gulf acting as a powder keg for storms, saying up to 89% of the extra heat is going into the ocean, adding that the atmosphere is able to carry 7% more water vapor with each degree of warming, which could lead to heavier rainfall in storms. Here in the Bahamas, we know all too well the dangers of rapid intensification after going through Dorian. Not just the dangers of the storm itself, but the years-long implications of the long-term recovery needed in its aftermath. Some top tips to make easy shifts to sustainability? Opt for reusable products instead of disposable or plastic-based products when you shop. Avoid fast fashion if you can afford to. The fashion industry is responsible for more global emissions than aviation and shipping combined. Help grow the ocean's carbon sinks by seeing how you can get involved in coral or mangrove restoration in your community. Still to come in our news, today in history. Find out interesting facts about the day that was October 10th. And then in our news at 7:30, hearing from Bahamians who rode out Hurricane Milton in Florida. Our Delvardo Emmanuel speaks with a Bahamian who shares what's next for her and her family. Plus, the mixed reactions from parents after government reopened schools after a one-day closure anticipating weather from Hurricane Milton. That's coming up when Our News returns.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts. Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you is?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need you 25 cents no more.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Shaw, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Breezes Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack location. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Mass. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as the environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is degrading right in front of my eyes. And being NT's Youth Ambassador for the Environment means that my words and my actions hold the power to help change the environment and the world around me. I find it exciting that I can be a student, live my life, and use my words and my voice to change the environment and the world around me. Most times I think it's a privilege. It's our environment and it's our generation to own. I don't think as a young person that there's anything more rewarding than being a part of bringing awareness. I'm Michaela Kerr, and I'm making a difference in my own words.
Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, unplugging appliances not in use. That's energy conservation. Replacing an old refrigerator, washing machine with a new model, adding insulation to the attic and walls of a home. That's energy efficiency. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
On this day in Bahamian history, on the 10th of October 1983, the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation opened to the public in New Providence. The original offices were located on Thompson Boulevard in the current Michael Eldon complex. In November 2020, the BMC found a new permanent home on East Hill Street. Since the establishment of the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation, the BMC has provided over 5,000 Bahamians with funding for homes. The corporation has clients in New Providence, Grand Bahama, Abaco, Andros, Bimini, Cat Island, Exuma, and San Salvador. In 2015, after Hurricane Joaquin caused millions of dollars in damage to islands in the southern Bahamas, the Christie administration revealed 65% of homes in Crooked Island had been damaged by the storm. During the storm, an American cargo ship, El Faro, went missing near Crooked Island with 33 crew members. It sank, killing everyone on board. Joaquin was the 10th named storm, 3rd hurricane, and 2nd major hurricane of the 2015 Atlantic hurricane season. The storm evolved from a non-tropical low to become a tropical depression on September 28th. After becoming a tropical storm the next day, Joaquin underwent rapid intensification, reaching hurricane status on September 30th and Category 4 major hurricane strength on October 1st. Making its way across the southern Bahamas, Joaquin's eye passed near or over several islands. Days after it devastated the southern Bahamas, then Housing Minister Kenred Dorsett vowed the government would help rebuild homes in impacted islands.
We do know that the Department of Housing in particular and the ministry as a corporation so will have to do its part in the reconstruction exercises that will take place in the Family Islands. And so the new construction, and once the government advances its reconstruction efforts, we would want those approved builders who are currently working for the Department of Housing to really prioritize getting their fellow brothers and sisters on the island back to a sense of normalcy.
To see that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs or Our News Bahamas on Facebook. That does it for Our News at 7. Joining us now is our Megan Shepard with the latest headlines. Megan?
Thanks so much, Marlena. Well, great news today. Hurricane Milton is gone. How are you feeling? How are you doing for one more day in the work week?
We're almost there. We're almost there. We're this close to the weekend. One last step.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Well, straight ahead, our Italia Hall gives us a glimpse of impacted communities in Grand Bahama. This as the all clear is officially announced. Plus, we hear the first-hand experience of one Bahamian living in Florida. Here are your latest headlines.
First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30. Out of the woods, emergency operations shut down as the chief meteorologist announces the all clear. Plus, parents weigh in on the closing and subsequent reopening of schools in the capital, hours before Hurricane Milton ushers in wind and rain. And then, riding out Milton, our Delvado Emmanuel speaks exclusively with the Bahamian about her experience in Florida during the storm. And later, teams gear up for the 3rd annual Dragon Boat Racing Festival this weekend. We hit the seas. These stories and more when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, unplugging appliances not in use. That's energy conservation. Replacing an old refrigerator, washing machine with a new model, adding insulation to the attic and walls of a home. That's energy efficiency. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussions. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
My name is Trey Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any
Welcome to Our News, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. The Bahamas is officially out of the woods as it relates to Hurricane Milton. The all clear officially given for the northern Bahamas this afternoon. And it appears that those northern islands have weathered this storm fairly well. Our Italia Hall and cameraman Dave Mackey took to the streets of Grand Bahama to assess the situation today.
Thursday brought sunny skies and strong winds to Grand Bahama as residents were advised to prepare for tropical storm conditions. However, in the 8 Mile Rock community near Lovers Beach and the local fish fry area, flooding occurred on some roads, a situation senior meteorologist at the Department of Meteorology Trinidad Times had predicted.
The winds were our main concern. We did report that we were going to expect some areas on the southern shore of the island, especially at the western part of Grand Bahama, to get some encroachment of the seas over the high water mark, and it did do exactly what it. We had some debris this morning when I was doing my check early this morning, around about 7. So when I did the run, I did see areas where we had some stones and sand and some, conch shells and seaweed, and a little debris was in the street in areas we were anticipating that was going to happen. We did get a little elevation, roughly about between 1 to 3 foot elevation on top of high tide, which was around 1 o'clock, which was exactly on point what we were anticipating.
At the Emergency Operations Center in Freeport, government agencies continue to work diligently as they awaited the all-clear from Met officials. Administrator for the city of Freeport, Kenwood Cartwright, says there was no major damage on the island.
So far, we fared pretty well. We had to activate 4 shelters yesterday evening just as a precaution for residents that would have needed to shelter.
There was a small percentage of power issues reported on the island, less than 10%. Times noted that while the island enjoyed clear weather, this was a part of the expected conditions.
This is why we were telling people not to panic, not to worry. stay prayed up and just follow the guidelines of what the Department of Meteorology were putting out.
Cartwright expressed his relief as he says he's pleased with how well the island withstood the storm.
I think we prepared well enough. All teams present have been very, very outstanding. I couldn't have done this without them. They were present. They gave their updates as activation needed to take place.
Reporting for our news, I'm Italia Hall.
The all clear given for the North and Central Bahamas as Hurricane Milton moves into the Atlantic. Chief Meteorologist Taylor Green announced as much this afternoon during a press conference at the Disaster Risk Management Authority headquarters on Gladstone Road. DRM's Managing Director Erin Sargent confirming there has been no reports of injuries or significant damage. He adds that emergency command centers throughout the country have been deactivated.
Pleased to inform residents of the islands of the Northern Bahamas, in particular Grand Bahama, the Abacos, and Bimini, that all is clear. I repeat, all is clear. It is now safe to move about your communities. Our team has been in constant communication with all Family Island administrators on the affected islands, and there are no reports of injury or significant damage. Effective immediately, the National Emergency Disaster Operations Center here in New Providence and all Family Island Incident Command Centers are deactivated. I am pleased to report that many of the issues reported at our earlier updates have now been resolved. The drains in West End, Grand Bahama have been cleared. Electricity and water have been restored in Sweetings Key and East Grand Bahama.
Thousands of students headed back to classes today after schools reopened in the capital and other central islands. Classes were canceled earlier this week due to bad weather caused by Hurricane Milton. But last night, the Minister of Education revoked that decision. Our Joshua Williams visited a few schools in New Providence where he spoke to parents and school officials.
One day after schools were closed in the capital due to conditions connected to Hurricane Milton, the Ministry of Education reversing that decision, allowing schools to reopen today. But how do parents feel?
If they were my children, they wasn't coming.
It was mixed reactions from parents this morning after students returned to classes following a one-day break. On Tuesday, the government previously announced the closure of schools in the Northern Bahamas was due to forecasted heavy rain. But by last night, the Ministry of Education announced that schools on New Providence, Andros, the Berry Islands, and Eleuthera will reopen today, while schools on Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Key will remain closed. My first stop this morning was Kingsway Academy, where not many cars were in the drop-off area. This mom told me she sat in the car with her daughter for a while before making her decision.
When I told her daddy, I said, I don't think I'm going to send her to school this morning because it's raining already. And but when I asked Dakota, she was like, Mommy, I want to go to school.
This parent, who's also a teacher, says she used her day off yesterday wisely.
I looked at it as yesterday was the opportunity to go to the store to get anything that you needed. You had that time to get, which I did, go out and get a few things from the store. Went back home, and now the weather's here today when we should have been inside and, safe out of this weather, but I guess it is what it is.
Over at Claridge Primary School, the single mother says she had no problem sending her kids to school based on what she's seen so far this week.
The storm went down to Category 3, so I don't think it's as bad as it was. They went to school a few days ago while it was pouring rain, so I don't see the difference, with sending them today.
Students also returned at R.M. Bailey Senior High School and C.H. Reeves Junior High School, but this grandmother didn't support the decision to reopen schools.
I don't feel like they should have let the children come back to school because they know the storm was coming closer to us. So why let the children come to school if you know the storm was going to be more closer to us?
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks so much, Josh. As recovery efforts continue in the wake of Hurricane Milton, Floridians are beginning to assess the damage and start the recovery process. Our Delvado Emmanuel spoke with a Bahamian who rode out the storm and shares what's next for her and her family.
Bahamians living in the Sunshine State are breathing a sigh of relief after making it through one of the most powerful storms of the season. Earlier this week, I spoke with Romika Adeli. She and her family decided to ride out the storm at home.
The storm, we as a family, we bunkered down, and there was a lot of strong wind. At some points, it was a little nerve-wracking because it almost sounded as if there were one of those heavy-duty running through our neighborhood or driving through our neighborhood, but it was just the sound of the wind barreling through the homes.
The Adderleys also passed their church in Tampa.
The church building itself did not sustain any damages. However, the property right behind the church is now a pond, a whole lake. Like, there are people out there on boats, and the road in the front of the church is flooded, but the church is built up a good couple of feet, and so we did not sustain any water damage.
The Tampa transplant, who has experienced storms here in the Bahamas, couldn't help but to compare the two experiences.
Hurricanes both here and at home in the Bahamas, and they're all very different. It's just the emotional roller coaster because we did what we needed to do as far as locking down, boarding up, preparing ourselves as we would do if we were home. And I think that the emotional roller coaster is the same.
And as for the way forward,
we will definitely connect with our community, because our church is in a community, to see those who would have experienced flooding, to see how we could assist them go through the next few days and weeks ahead. We will definitely connect with any Bahamians that we know in the area that may have experienced some damages, and just connect to see how we can help.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
A man is sentenced to 7 years in prison for possession of firearms with intent to supply has lost his bid to overturn his conviction and sentence. Arizona Roll was convicted of firearm possession with intent to supply, possession of ammunition, and possession of drugs with the intent to supply following a trial before Magistrate Samuel McKinney. Police arrested Roll on December 2nd, 2022, following a high-speed chase. During a subsequent search of his car, the officers found a box that contained 5 firearms, 11 rounds of ammunition, and 2.4 pounds of marijuana. Roll was sentenced to 7 years for the guns. He was ordered to serve a 3-year sentence for the ammunition that will be served at the same time, and fined $500 for the drugs. Roll's lawyer, David Cash, unsuccessfully argued that the 7-year sentence was too severe and that the convictions weren't supported by the evidence. Well, it's time now for your first look at temperatures with meteorologist Ian McKenzie. Ian.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your first look at your weather. We're currently outside our studios. We have 85, few clouds and warm, feels like 93. Winds are from the west at 22 miles per hour. First look now at our satellite and radar imagery where we have trailing moisture across the area. This is all courtesy now of post-tropical cyclone Milton. Breezy conditions, high pressure building in its wake. We'll tell you all about this in our extended forecast straight ahead.
Still to come on Our News, remembering a Bahamian icon. Tonight, a former mentee of veteran journalist Darrell Miller reflects on his impact. Plus, a former senator reflects on his career serving in the upper chamber. Their stories when Our News returns.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussions. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
My name is Troy Williams.
Has already seen at the passing of Ed Bethel, Obi Wilshcombe, and now Darrell Miller. Miller's body was found in an advanced stage of decomposition on Sunday afternoon in his Ministry home. One of Darrell's mentees and now managing editor, Kentia Dames, shared with Our News that Darrell gave her an internship at Love 97 back in 1995, and quote, "The rest is history." She shared how he should be remembered nationally.
Certainly as a larger-than-life personality, is how so many Bahamians will remember him. Many people, Darrell was, easy to like. He was entertaining. He was fun. He was a bit bizarre and wild at times. We all know that. Even inappropriate at sometimes. But I think that his contribution to the field is something that we all could appreciate. We could all continue to seek to learn from.
And Dame says things are different in the industry now when compared to when she initially started back in the field in 1995.
I and my colleagues at the time, we were fortunate to have people like Darrell Miller around us, like senior people who had years of experience, who had lived through so much. People like Ed Bethel and Darrell and Mike Smith and Jeff Lloyd. We were able to learn so much from them and from their experience. And I think that that's what's lacking today in many ways, because we don't have a lot of senior talent in our newsroom, in the newsrooms across the Bahamas, really. And so, it's a bit different now because we have not been able to hold on to that kind of talent. And so things are a lot different now.
This week, a senator said farewell to now former Senator Quinton Lightbourne, who tendered his resignation to take a position in Washington. He sat down with our Jerome Sawyer to talk about his work and how he plans to continue serving his country.
3 years ago, he took the oath of office as a 34-year-old senator, and since then he's used his office and age to bring a youthful perspective to debates on national issues.
To lend a listening ear and also to lend a voice to say this is something that may impact younger Bahamians differently than others. And so I think I was able to bring that balance.
Legislation on cannabis, mental health, and anti-gang initiatives are top of mind when he recalls the work he's most proud of while serving in the upper chamber. Yet it's the opportunity to learn which Lightbourne says he cherishes most.
I think it's been one of great learning. It's been very transformative for me. I think I was able to learn so much from many colleagues on the side opposite and the government. And I think that's important, being a young person and being afforded that opportunity and learning from everyone and understanding the viewpoints, but also understanding that, that we want to see the country excel.
In July, Lightbourne took a position with the Inter-American Development Bank in Washington. His role as alternate executive director of the Caribbean constituency will focus on regional infrastructural projects, transportation, and the all-important issue of renewable energy.
Globally, there's an energy crisis and what we're trying to do. And countries in the Caribbean, one of the key things that we must look at, in terms of solar energy, these are type of ways that we need to move forward and look at.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jerome Sawyer.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, the miracle run continues for the Mets, Jazz embraces being the villain, and JJ takes her first step towards history tonight.
Plus, Ian McKinsey is back in the Weather Center with your extended weather forecast. We have the details when our news returns.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts. Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. The big week for Bahamians in the MLB playoffs continues. Anton Richardson's New York Mets are off to the NLCS, while Jazz Chisholm Jr.'s New York Yankees are one win away from the ALCS. Francisco Lindor's Grand Slam Wednesday night was the latest in late-game heroics for the Mets and sparked a 4-1 win to eliminate the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League Divisional Series. The Mets advanced to the Championship Series for the first time since 2015. Over in the American League, Chisholm and the Yankees won 3-2 on the road last night and took a 2-1 lead over the Kansas City Royals. Game 4 is set for tonight at 8:08 p.m. at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. From the introductions to every at-bat, Chisholm heard the boos and taunts from the more than 40,000 fans in attendance.
The best thing I heard from the crowd today, hold on, I gotta think about it, was one. I think it was this like 27-year-old man, and I think he was mimicking the girl on the side of him. And it was like, "You're over 3." But he looked like a big man. So when he did it, I almost cried. I was laughing. So it was funny.
Staying in New York, the WNBA Finals get underway tonight with Jonquil Jones and the New York Liberty hosting the Minnesota Lynx tonight at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Minnesota had the edge in the regular season series 3-1, but Jones said the Liberty has game planned the necessary adjustments to win the first title in franchise history.
Yeah, and in terms of my matchups against Minnesota this year, obviously they do a really good job of congesting the paint, sending multiple people, fronting the post, and kind of making you pass the ball over the top and then having that help side defense be there. But I understand how important it is for me to play really well for us to win. And I understand that a main point of emphasis for Minnesota is trying to get me out of the game and being able to use that to affect the game. So I'm coming in really aggressively, obviously, trying to play smart, not get into early foul trouble.
Preparations continue for the Bahamas to hope the top baseball teams in the region at the 6th Caribbean Cup. Tonight, we take a look at the managerial staff. Jerron Sands will be the team's manager, assisted by coaches Albert Cartwright, Mario Ford, and Ken Adderley. Avard Hart is the general manager, Donovan Cox is the pitching coordinator, Trey Sweeting will be the team's trainer, and Nicholas Morley is the physical trainer. The tournament will be hosted October 23rd to 28th at the Andre Rogers National Stadium. We head into the college football weekend, checking in on teams from Conference USA and the Mid-American Conference. We're getting closer to the Bahamas Bowl. Jacksonville State continues to dominate in just their second FBS season and Open Conference USA play with a 63-24 win at Kennesaw State. Gamecocks dual-threat quarterback Tyler Huff threw for 193 yards and rushed for 176 yards and 3 touchdowns. In action, Toledo won 30-20 over Miami of Ohio to improve to 4-1. Western Michigan running back Jaden Nixon had 14 carries for 124 yards and 3 scores in a 45-42 win over Ball State. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. You know, if everything plays out the way we think it will in New York this week, this could be the Bahamas' greatest import to the Big Apple since Tony McKay, or Sidney Poitier, or the post-draft party in 2016. 10YS history. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, the 3rd annual Dragon Boat Racing Festival is back. The event kicks off this weekend and promises to be an event you don't want to miss. The details right after this break.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you is?
I read you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack location. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as an environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is...
Welcome back, everyone. Here's a look now at your extended forecast and the tropics. Okay, we have post-tropical cyclone Milton. North of the area will continue to move eastwards and away from the area. We also have out there tropical storm Leslie. Leslie will move north and then eventually move towards the east. No threat to any land or especially the Bahamas. Boating forecast still on the rough side. Small craft operators should remain in port in the northwest Bahamas. Winds west to northwest, 15 to 25, gusting high at times. Seas 5 to 8 feet near shore, but up to 14 feet offshore. And those swells. Low tide at 10:02 p.m. tonight. High tide at 3:45 a.m. tomorrow morning. In the central and southeast Bahamas, small craft should exercise caution. Winds will be west-southwest to west-northwest, 10 to 15. Seas 2 to 4 feet near shore, but up to 7 feet offshore. Here's a look at your national forecast. And in your extended holiday forecast, fairly decent conditions into about Sunday, more clouds into the picture. And by next week, the start of the work week, we introduce showers back into the forecast. Those highs only getting up to the upper 80s with your lows in the upper 70s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Thanks so much, Ian. Well, the countdown is underway to the 3rd annual Dragon Boat Racing Festival set for this weekend. The 2-day event hosted by the Bahamas Chinese Dragon Boat Association will feature dozens of the traditional large canoe-like vessels flooding the waters of Goodman's Bay, with teams registered from numerous companies and organizations across the island, including some international teams. Treasurer for the association tells us just how many teams have signed up thus far.
We are very excited so far. We have 4 foreigner team from Canada already signed up to come to the Bahamas. And also we have some individual paddlers sign up to come to the Bahamas from Oregon. We have about 20 teams sign up for the Bahamas locally so far, but we expect some more teams to sign up.
Now, outside of those races, there will also be a cultural explosion online. And of course, I think it will be a Cable Bahamas team. So that's definitely an event you don't want to miss this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a safe and wonderful evening.